This is Brooke York, and this is my video response on the reading that I attended. I went to Anne Boyer's reading at the Cabin on October 16th, where I actually laughed a lot during the whole thing and got emotional within 45 minutes of being there. Anne Boyer read from her collection of lyric prose poems titled Garments Against Women. This collection is very powerful and purposeful in talking about the boundaries of poetry and memoirs as we know them. To begin the reading, there wasn't much background information given on Anne Boyer, so after the reading, I did a little bit of research. She was born and raised in Kansas, where she is now the assistant professor of liberal arts at Kansas City Art Institute. I personally would love to have her as a teacher, but I would be horribly scared for her to read anything I write. Boyer was actually diagnosed with breast cancer in 2014, and it's become really the source of her project's ideas and thinking. What I really enjoyed most about the reading was Anne Boyer herself. She's very witty and intelligent, and I just wish the reading was somewhere different. I think it would have been more effective if it was at the Sub instead of the Cabin. I didn't really feel like the feel fit the tone of her reading. I did really enjoy her connection when she was talking about the Smurf story and about how Papa Smurf was putting people to sleep and writer's block and all this stuff. And I really think that it felt relatable and that we can all talk about a time we had a Smurf moment. And at the end of the reading, I didn't end up asking any questions, but I really liked some of the questions that were asked and the answers that she gave. She talked a lot about her writing process and about where the ideas from some of her pieces came from. I felt like we really got to see who she was just over the course of this short 45-minute reading. At the end of the day, I'm not really a poetry writer, and all the things that I would want to steal from Anne Boyer and her craft, I would have to adapt a lot to implement them in my own writing. I do really like her lyrical language, and I already tried to use that in my writing, but I think studying some of her poems would be beneficial for me in kind of using her rhythm and the way she does it. I noticed that repetition is very important in her poems, and I think it works well in poems, but it would be interesting to implement that into my short story writing. It's hard to use repetition because you don't want to really sound like a broken record, but I would want to be able to use it where it's meaningful and useful. I think studying Anne Boyer would help my craft as a writer. Overall, this is my favorite reading out of all of them I attended because Anne Boyer's personality and her stories. I felt like we were kind of having a conversation instead of at this reading. I felt like she was really relatable, interesting, and witty, and I think that there are lots of things that I could learn from her.